News of diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Cuba is being closely watched by the small Cuban-American community here on the Central Coast. KCOY 12's Natalie Tavidian talked to a former Foreign Services officer who was based in Cuba. She's live in San Luis Obispo with the story.
Scott, that former U.S. diplomat who lives here in San Luis Obispo County was just in Cuba a week ago. He says the mood over there is hopeful. I also talked to a local Cuban-American today who tells me that he's waited a long time for this historic day. Delvis Fernandez Levy left Cuba at the age of 17. He says the country was a mess.
This is something that has been going on for nearly 60 years and has had a lot of collateral damage.
Today, he is hopeful.
Things are moving, in the best direction that I have ever seen in my entire life. This is my sister, Sarita, we used to call her. She passed away due to an aneurysm.
His sister, Sarita, was the first woman engineer in Cuba. She died more than 20 years ago. When she got sick, he couldn't speak with her because she was in Cuba. He says this pushed him to advocate for change.
We could not communicate directly with the family. We had to call a Cuban-Canadian family, and that would connect us with Havana, and in that way we would find out what was going on.
Fernandez Levy was a math professor in the Bay Area. He retired early.
I moved to New Jersey and tried to organize Cuban Americans. I went to Geneva.
For him, it's about family issues.
Look at what we're doing. Look how a war of words, an animosity that has been going on for years and years, can have deep collateral damage.
What does it mean now? What does it mean to have that embassy? Charles Barclay, who now calls San Luis Obispo County home, is the former deputy chief of mission in the U.S. interest section in Havana, Cuba. He spent 3 years there.
I think symbolically it's a very big step. It does a lot of things for the U.S. in terms of its relations with Latin America.
He's been following the negotiations with the U.S. and Cuba closely. He says the announcement is a positive step to restoring normal relations.
Well, I was there about a week and a half ago, and I think there's a lot of hope that restoring relations will improve the Cuban economy because it's really in a sad state.
Still, he says there are many differences and a big change might take time. Still, that embassy for many is a symbol for hope. Live in San Luis Obispo, Natalie Tavidian, KCOY 12 Central Coast News.
Thank you, Natalie.